Hi everybody, it's been a while. I'm growing locks now. I've installed 409 of these babies in my head. So, like I said, it's been a while. And I think maybe this video is long overdue. I've been getting a lot of questions as to how things are going with me in the program. Did I return to the program? And my answer is always, well, most of the time, it's I left the program, but I don't tell why, or I say I'm gonna release a video soon. So, as you just heard, I left the program. I actually left the program twice. So, here's what happened. I'm walking because it kind of helps me get through this and not be so emotional. So, I apologize for the lighting and the wind. I'll try to cover. I put on my earpiece so that way it'll buffer. I can buffer the wind better. Okay, so I had this all planned out. All right, so in my first semester, things were going well. There's this exam that we take. It's a one and done exam, and I didn't really have that understanding once I received the syllabus for the class. The syllabus talks about how we're to dress when we come to class, what days we're coming to class, the entire, semester breakdown as a syllabus would do. But as it turned out, it was a one and done test. And I failed the test. It's a test that no one in the history of the school, they say, had failed. I don't know that to be true, but that's how it was told to us. And so it's very easy. You don't really have to study maybe 2 days before. No one ever fails it. But I and maybe 6 other people failed for the first time in the history of the school. And I got this phone call, and it was from the program director. And he says, it's Kobe, I want to talk to you about my test you failed. You failed my class. And I'm thinking, no, that can't be right. We have other exams to take. They're on the syllabus. And it was very harsh. You know how back in the day when you were younger, I don't know about you guys, because some of you are really young now, but back in my time, you go in the club or whatever, and a guy touches you on the butt, and you respond negatively, like, don't do that. Then it's all, be you this, you that, you ain't so, and that's how he was talking to me. So it took me a minute to try to, I had to keep myself calm so that I could ask questions that I needed. Pretty much he just said, you remember when I told you in your interview about you not having success in this program. So if you remember a few videos back, I said that it was said to me that I was old, black, and non-traditional, so I wouldn't be successful in the program. Most people like me, old, black, and non-traditional, are not successful in the program. So when he said it then, I thought it was like some type of encouragement. Somehow I just wanted that to be positive, because there's no way that a representative from the school would be saying this to me, right? But I got in. That's the same person who interviewed me, and I got in. So I when he said it this time, I understood that it was a dagger. It was a dagger then, and it was a dagger in that moment when he was reminding me of what he said. And he was telling me to leave the program so that I could get my money back, get a full refund. Now, I had noticed that he was cold to me and non-receptive at the white coat ceremony. I had to literally say, "I'm trying to get your attention." And then he looked like this. Yeah, what? Can I help you? When I walked up to shake his hand when we were being pinned at this session that we have before school starts, he looked over me like I wasn't standing there, like he's taller, so he was looking over my head. And I thought, wow, okay, so that means don't approach me. So I turned around. But I did say thank you to him. So I didn't know where any of that was coming from. I couldn't understand the reason for the tone he was taking, but I clearly understood the intent. And the intent was to tell me to leave the program now. I asked, I said, "I think I'll be okay in the program." And he said, "Yeah, that's what they all say." Well, who the hell is they all, is what I was thinking. And I said, "There is someone who failed worse than me. Yeah, I'm going to call him too, because he doesn't need to be here either." Well, I knew who that person was, and he does deserve to be there. And he's graduating now. When I followed up with that person, he didn't get a phone call at all. At all. And there were several other students in the range of the 6 people who failed who didn't get a phone call at all, not even to remediate. But this man told me if I didn't leave now, we'd be having this conversation in the middle of the semester or at the end of the semester. So that meant to me that he was going to fail me in his class. Because how else could you determine that we'll be having this conversation again about me leaving the program if you aren't hell-bent on making sure I fail in the first semester? So I asked him, "Do you have any tools? Any advice that you can give me?" And his response, to help me be successful in the program, and his response was, "I ain't got nothing for you, Kobe. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's why you need to leave. You need to reconsider," is what he said, not leave. "You need to reconsider and get your money back while you still can." That's what he said. So as the days went by, my panic grew heavier. You see, because I'm 49 years old at that time, and I have just closed a 20-year business to follow my dream. This was all I had. And here I am. I've evidently gotten caught up in something, and I don't know what it is. But I've made this man angry, and he's telling me to leave his program. He was angry, and I could tell that it was more than me failing the test. The tone, the "bitch, you ain't shit," was right there. So I had to have done something, and I didn't know. I didn't know what I had done, because, folks, when I tell you I'm always the bright, bubbly, I stay on a narrow path with people. I don't intentionally insult. I am so graceful. So this was weird to me. But it made me panic. So all I had was my mom and my home in Orange Park. So I started asking other people who failed, and Several people had never received a call, but this was mine. And then there were some other things that were full of harassment from him. And things just got worse. Finally, there was a window for me to reach out to the creator of the program. And I did. And we had a talk about, what was said to me. And the creator, I explained to him that there's no way I could have just failed the class because the syllabus says this. Well, overnight, the syllabus was down. And because the syllabus is university and a student. Clear? So you can't go too far. You can add things to the syllabus easier than you can take away. So that was what was on the line here, I'm sure. I didn't know that then, but I found out, how things work. So I went on leave of absence because my mom got ill, and then I had this situation here. And I just needed some time to get my head back in the game because I was in a panic. And I felt threatened, and I felt ashamed, and I felt less than, and I felt old. And unworthy. So nothing was clicking. Nothing was staying. So I went on leave of absence. But I had to return to that school, and I had to have an interview with the program director. I figured if I left for a year to get my head together, the creator of the program director's boss, could get his head together as well. Let me stop right now and say that for those of you who are viewing this, I'm not telling you that NSU is not a good field. It's not a good school. I'm not telling you that anesthesia is not a good field, because I like the school. I respect the school. And I have a ton of respect for the field. I'm sharing this because I want to give you the heads up. Yeah. I'd like to give you the heads up so that you do better at choosing the school that works for your personality, is what I'm saying. I didn't do research like that. I didn't know to do research like that. So I really didn't have much of an idea about bureaucracy. I hadn't been in corporate America in forever. But I left apologizing. I spoke to the creator of the program, and he always made me feel a little safe when I spoke to him. But I knew that he didn't have the control over this situation that perhaps he'd like for me to think he had. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So he kept saying, Kobe, you aren't doing anything wrong. Why should you apologize? And I said to him, because in conflict it takes two, and there's always a side that says I didn't do anything, and I had to have done something for him to be as upset, because he is upset. He's angry. He's not tripping because I failed his test. He's not. So There was also an issue at that time with a girl, another student. And here's where I'm giving you another heads up if you're considering the South Campus for NSU, because she'll be back. She went out on leave of absence too. She was extremely disruptive. She was combative. She was nagging. She was very disruptive. She was spreading lies. She was trying to intimidate people. She's done a lot of things. And then she was failing. She was failing in the program, and she went on leave of absence. She did tell us that she had, some issues, and she takes medication for mental issues or whatever. There's so many rumors about, the person who interviewed her didn't recommend her for the program, and then someone above her said, yeah, we're going to take her anyway. A lot of stuff, but she's very pretty, and we'll get into that another time. I think I may have to make 2 videos because we're coming up on 18 minutes. So I took this year, that year off, to get some therapy and, pull myself together, study, because anatomy was a challenge for me because I'd never had it before. So I became pretty proficient in what I knew was there. I had all of my study materials and things like that. So, going back in, it wasn't going to be an issue. And I was hoping that things were getting better with him as well. During the time that I was out, I heard so many rumors, like they were in his class, and I was called unprofessional for these videos that I've been posting since before I got accepted into the program, when I didn't know even what professional protocol was for, what was like, or, I got ridiculed about how I titled my Instagram page to my face at our first orientation. Yeah, the one for the program. And so I went on my Instagram page and explained why I had it that way, because no one bothered to ask. They just, staff members decided that that was the place and time to ridicule me in front of my classmates without saying my name. But I was the only one with the title, so it was me. During that year, I spent some time talking to people I know in the medical field, and they kept saying to me, everybody saying the same thing: find another program. Kobe, here's what's going to happen. You're going to, because you made a stink, he's going to let you go until the last semester of didactics, and that's where he's going to fail you. In the last semester, there's so many ways. Understand that master's programs and doctoral programs, higher education programs, is a lot of dirty practicing and dirty money and different things. So they have ways of removing you. This program is not about how smart you are or if you're dumb. It's about if they like you and whether or not they want you to be successful in their program and in the field that you're studying. If you fit the mold, then you're in. If you don't, then you're not in. And somehow or another, I found myself not fitting the mold. But I didn't know why. He told me I was graceful, and he thought I was smart, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to the class of 2024. And then just like that, he didn't want me anymore. And so I was not going to be in AA. And I was warned of that at the school. I had an instructor say, let me show you what's going on here. here's this email, and you sent the email to 3 people, but your program director responded. The email was not sent to him. The program director responded, and it had all of these people on the email. She said, I bet these are all your other instructors. But they weren't just the instructors. They were also the front staff, like the scheduling staff and onboarding staff and the secretary. Everybody was in on this email. In the email, he told me, I was asking, could I take the class online because COVID was picking up. In that email, he told me that here are the school rules and this is what you're going to do. But in our orientation, he said that the AA program has nothing to do with anatomy and physiology over at the other school. So that's why I didn't include him in the email, because I sent it to my physiology and my anatomy instructors. But when I got it back, it was he who was responding, and he included everyone. And so the instructor said to me, this is the bullseye. It's on your back. He just told everybody, I don't like her. I don't want her in the program. So she's a target. And she said the best that you can do now is bang out your anatomy and physiology courses, keep your head down, and pray. If you want to be an anesthesiologist assistant, shut your mouth. That's what I was told. But I had said so much already. I'd already spoken to other instructors just trying to get help. So there was no going back from that. So I spent the summer, and this is where I'm going to stop. I spent the summer studying, getting therapy, talking, and everyone told me to find another school. So on my way back, I spoke to a friend of mine who was a congressman at one point. No, he was a senator for a long time. And he said, hey, I know such and such, and I'm going to give the school a call. And then I told him about the conversation that I had with the program director when I got back in. He said, but listen, Kobe, he still needs to know that you're on the non-fuck-wittable list, because he's going to take you to the last semester of didactics and he's going to fail you there. I believe that. So I'm going to stop here, upload this video, and then I'll upload another one because you're at 23 minutes. Bye.